Thank you for joining us. We got Curtis here, back from river rafting in Moab. Amazing. And
Yeah.
he also runs RedX. We're going to be talking about mailers, just sold and community building through mailers. We do this. I love it. I've been doing it for years, and it works, but it takes a long time. That's
Yeah.
the only challenge. And we always say, if you're going to do this, go all in, meaning you're going to have to do the mailers consistently over a long period of time, build some type of community network where people get to know you through local events, door knocking, calling, make sure that you're taking as many open houses from other real estate friends that you can that are local if they're not yours, and just engage with the community in this way, because mailing is only one piece. It really works long term. But where would we start, Curtis,
Well,
if we're going to start?
yeah, I went through a bunch of the different education and kind of content that we had and pulled 10 compelling statistics that, if I like to be a data-driven marketer, that my background is marketing and I've done that forever. I've been at RedX for 18 years today, actually, at RedX. So I've been through a few different markets in real estate. We've helped a lot of agents do a lot of things, but so I wanted to just start. I'm sure the conversation, as it does with you and I, will find its way, but I at least wanted to share some statistics, because there's so many people I meet that are like, oh, mailers, mail, junk mail.
Mhm.
And a lot of that stems from the demographic that we are in real estate. And so you have in fact, I just downloaded the new NAR realtor profile and was looking at
Oh,
it. The average age is up,
okay.
and there's all these statistics about who we are in this industry that I think are biases from even our childhoods and how we grew up, and junk mail, and how junk mail just got out of control in the mailbox, that when people hear direct mail, they kind of shut that down pretty quick. So I wanted to first start with just 10 stats to convince people that direct mail is something they should absolutely be doing, at least considering.
Mhm.
And then after that, we can get into what should they send and why. What should they put in their mailers or their postcards or some of those things. And then if we have time, we can tell them how to get started. There's a handful of tools out there I think they should use, including
Got it.
RedX, of course. But so are you okay with that? And I'll just go and we'll have a conversation about some
I
of this
love that.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. The first stat that I think people will be a little bit blown away with is direct mail delivers a higher ROI than email, social media, paid search, and text messaging.
Mhm.
A lot of my statistics, I just to give people some references, I got to click over to my my reference tab here. So I read a lot of Postalytics, Persuasion Nation. There's PostGrid is another one that has a lot of information about mailers and marketing. Not to mention just following a lot of different marketers and what they're doing. But mailers can have a very high ROI. I don't know if you want to go there, but stat number 2, 42% of recipients,
Uh-huh.
42% of recipients of a direct mail piece at least scan the direct mail that they receive. 42%. Now, people might go, wow, 42%, 60%, that means 58% of my postcards are going in the garbage. But you gotta remember, email, you are crushing an email if you get 30% open rates.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
Very
if you're
true.
doing 30% open rates, then and that's assuming people open it and actually read it. And even in digital marketing right now, open rates are being inflated with all of the email changes that Gmail and Yahoo have done even just this year. where they're preloading all of the pictures before they go to you. So it could count as an open rate and still not even get to you. That was probably a little nerdy. Forget about that. We're not talking about digital marketing.
No, I like that because you've got to compare what the other ones are, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
direct mail, keep going.
42%. Okay. 73% of American consumers prefer to be contacted by brands via direct mail because they can read it at their convenience.
Mm,
This
okay.
personal touch enhances customer experience and loyalty. So that's 73%. Now, I'm going to skip down because there's another one here that people are going to jump in, and I don't know what it is about our industry, but I follow a lot of different industries, marketing influencers, and read a lot of marketing books, attend a lot of marketing conferences. We talk about demographics in our space a lot, even more so than a lot of other people. A lot of people niche down into their audiences, but we just love to talk about millennials and Gen Z and who's buying and who's not buying. And we talk a lot about those things. So when you hear that, I want to follow that stat up with 63% of Gen Z consumers, Gen Z, expressed more excitement about receiving direct mail than any other year, right? So they measure this every single year. Right now, Gen Z is more excited about getting a direct mail piece than they ever have before. And the reason is digital marketing has become so impersonal. The noise, and I say this probably on every single webinar we've ever done together, Tristan, is that the old adage of 7 to 12 touches to make an impression is gone. Experts are now saying it's closer to 50 times, 50 impressions that you have to make with somebody to really start to buy mind share. So you can't, and that's because we are ignoring almost everything that is hitting us online. There's just so much noise that our brains are being conditioned to ignore it, that when you get something in the mail, most people are opening it, at least scanning it, 42%. That's higher than your email open rates. And then even our younger generation is like so excited to receive something in the mail that's personalized to them, right? And a few Christmases ago, I got my kids in their Christmas stockings, they got pads of paper. And my 7-year-old, she says, "Dad, look at this. It's like an iPad, but on paper."
That's so good.
And it was like, mind blowing, because the excitement that they have for analog and to get something. And when the dentist sends out birthday, we have a pediatric dentist that sends postcards to the kids on their birthdays. They like love. Did I get any mail? They like love it because it's so rare that they're getting anything in the mail. And that extends all the way into what right now is the third largest buying demographic in real estate, which are these younger millennials and Gen Z that are starting to do a lot of the buying in real estate. And so you think about how you can target that audience, and you think, oh, I got to be on text, I got to be on TikTok, you got to be there. You got to do all those things because that's where they hang out the most. But if you want to make an impression with less effort, send a postcard, because less people are trying to do that. Let's see here. Here's an interesting one that goes exactly along with your kind of opening comments about you got to engage the community. You got to be doing more. You can't just do postcards and think that's going to do it all. You've got to kind of build a brand and be everywhere. Direct mail allows, this was a real estate one. I'm reading the wrong one. Hold on. Let's see. Real estate listings that include video, postcards, and then a video, 403% more inquiries when you're doing direct mail. You can get 4 times as many people viewing your videos about your listing if you're sending postcards out about your listing. That's insane.
That is insane, man. That is insane. I
So,
have a question from the audience too about
yeah, I'm
this.
ready.
What's your opinion on putting a flyer in the mailbox, or should it be put in an envelope and labeled with a label on it, but not mailed? Drop off the whole neighborhood. Thoughts?
My thoughts are depending on where you're at. Well, it's not legal for you to go put a flyer in someone's mailbox. Just FYI.
Don't do
Yeah.
that. I learned that the hard way, so don't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So I would definitely say go through the U.S. Postal Service if you're gonna drop something in somebody's mailbox. But the truth is I don't know the consumption of like door hangers and flyers and doing flyers in other ways to get it to the house. I
Mhm.
That would be an interesting research project in another webinar to see how how does that work. But no, I think the mail, there are some statistics around what gets opened the most. And of course, the more expensive the mail piece is, the more consumption there is on it because it looks more important. And that is going to catch people. They're going to open up an envelope that looks really fancy. But I would say the oversized not postcard. Postcards have high consumption rate because they can skim it with before they throw it in the garbage. But an envelope that looks like a wedding invitation, like a 6x9 envelope, has really, really high open rates because because it's just a stamp with an address. And it's like, well, it might be a wedding invitation, it might be a birthday card, or it might be an announcement, it might be something. And so the curiosity gets the open rates really high on those sized envelopes.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about the question here a little further on that, Curtis. I agree with you. I think here's from personal experience, I'll tell you, dropping off a flyer will work. Obviously, not in the mailbox, right? But at the front door. And I've gotten, and this is a luxury area, so me knocking in a luxury area. Me leaving the flyer in the front door because they weren't home. I did knock and wait. I know some people don't even knock, they just drop.
Mm-hmm.
Um, whatever gets you going at the beginning, I'm okay with. But I knocked, they weren't there, dropped, and then I got a call back for a listing presentation for a $4 million home just off of a drop, black and white, ugly ass flyer.
Yeah.
So if you are mailing, though, we have experience with mailing, and anytime you put it into some type of an envelope, and the nicer it looks, like Curtis is saying,
Yeah.
actually the nicer it looks, and they have to open it up, and it's handwritten, right? Or the appearance of handwritten is fine. That actually those do very well. And when you start alternating between postcards and handwritten and the envelopes, that's when you start breaking through a lot more. But Curtis, you brought up something and you said it in passing, and I think it's important to look at this. I popped it open. I'm always sharing my screen because you're like, you say something, and then I'm like, oh yeah, oh yeah. So it always happens. It's happening now. This is the 2024 home buyer and seller generational trends, right? This came out in April. So I don't know if this was the one you were referring to. There may be a newer one, but I'm looking at stuff like this. Primary reason for selling previous home. This is only giving me insight as to what my call to action needs to be on any marketing piece. And if we look at this, and find the top ones depending on the demographic, right? It even gives you the
Yep.
demographic. But if we know that we're mailing to an area that's a little older, right? Then you better believe my postcards are going to have something to do with that. And pricing, right? Hey, did you know, right? Because look, seller wanted to sell earlier, but waited or stalled because home was worth less. That's also important. So when you brought that up, I was like, man, I wish people would use this data more
100%.
to find their call to action.
Right.
But anyway, that's what you reminded me of.
Oh, I think we should come back to that, because that when people say, well, what do I send? The whole conversation should be focused around call to action.
Mhm.
That's it. So I'd love to come back to that one. Let me
I
jump
put
in. Increase video consumption on your listings for real estate agent. Here's one for all digital marketing. Combining direct mail with digital marketing strategies is an average of 28% increase in conversion rates on your digital marketing campaigns. So not just video consumption, but your actual conversion, you can increase by 28% when you do that. And we could talk for the entire time here about why that happens, but it has to do with your reticular activating system, your brain's filter of what it pays attention to and what it doesn't. And so when you're seeing things in multiple places, and you consume a postcard and you see Tristan and his logo or his business or his face, and then you're on digital marketing, that makes a big difference. It's the same reason why we combine digital marketing and phone calling, because what happens is you might be calling FSBOs or expireds. Let's use expireds because you might be competing with 50 other agents calling that same listing the day it expired, and most of the time the homeowner is going, you're the 30th agent that's called, thanks, click. Well, if they're then scrolling on Facebook that same day and they hear your voice, they see your face, right? They go, oh, that's the dude that called me. They're going to notice it, where if you didn't call and you didn't have that conversation, their brain probably would have just ignored that digital ad and just kept on scrolling. So it's the same with postcards, right? It's all about buying attention, because attention is the highest form of currency in our world today. And so the more things you can do to try to get the person to pay attention, they're going to pay attention in all of your different mediums. So that was a huge one. Let's see. I don't know how
Very
many
true.
I've given here. Did we get to 10 yet? Yeah. Along with that one, studies show that direct mail is 49% more memorable and 33% more engaging than email marketing. So, you have everybody in real estate seems to be, I get a lead and then I put them in a nurturing system, right? In my CRM that does the nurturing, but the majority of that nurturing is email marketing. And email marketing and some texting if you have permission and you have a good platform that does the texting. But the problem is email is right now what junk mail was when I was growing up. My parents would be like, "What is all this stuff?" And they're coming to the mailbox and they're just throwing it right in the garbage. They thumb through, find their bills, throw everything else in the garbage. Well, it's flipped again, right? So email is just full of junk that people don't pay attention to. And so people remember that I got a postcard more. So if you're combining things, if you're doing your phone prospecting and you're saying, hey, did you get my postcard I sent, last week? They're more likely to remember a postcard than you say, have you seen my stuff online? Right? So
Yeah,
it just,
it's
again,
targeted. I think the key to this is that it's targeted. And I think
yeah.
a lot of agents get the targeting part, man. It's targeted to a specific community or to a specific audience. Maybe it's just past clients, your sphere. But I think the key to this is when you start niching down with your mailers to a specific target, you start getting better results,
Yeah.
especially as you alternate, like you're saying, postcard, handwritten. I
Yes.
like that.
Okay, here's the last one, then we can get into some other stuff. So direct mail has a response rate almost 4 times higher than email marketing. So 4.4% response rate. If you think of a response rate in email as your click-through rate, a lot I won't say the company because everybody knows who it is, but I just bought some advertising spots in somewhere where agents would absolutely know the brand and where we go. They have a huge newsletter list, and they brag about an almost 1% click-through rate. Which in the digital marketing space can be rather high. Now we're talking about marketing for leads. We're not talking about your open rates on your database. Hopefully your sphere of influence has a higher open and click-through rate than that.
Yeah.
But even a customer in most companies with digital marketing, a customer open rate on a newsletter is amazing if you're hitting 3%. And direct mail is saying on average, you can get a 4.4% response rate on direct mail, which is crazy. So I don't even know if that was 10, but hopefully people are going, okay, if these things are true, maybe I ought to think about sending out some mailers. So the next question is, go ahead.
No, I'm thinking along the lines of what you're saying. If I'm planning on doing business and leveling up my business through this whole NAR thing, right? August 17th, November 26th, and doing fall and winter and saying, okay, I need to get more listings. If this is going to be your plan, then I think you've got to start looking at this as more connecting with a set group of people through mailers, multiple different mailings, like you said, video, social media, local events, because what happens over a long period of time is you start creating a relationship, and it's almost a one-sided relationship because you're sending out everything and you don't know who's being attracted to your brand,
Right.
so that when they see you or when they're ready, they can connect to list with you. We were talking about this earlier with Eric Sachs, Breakthrough Broker.
Yeah.
We were in a small group this morning, and we were talking just about this, man, which is crazy.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
marketing principles are true in any business, right? So this is the same even for Red X. We've been around for 22 years. And so we do a lot of events. People might not know that we're in a lot of publications where, we kind of go everywhere. And so that when we're somewhere, say we're at an event and we have a booth, people go, wow, I see you everywhere. Right.
yeah.
And I always say, but that's intentional. And that's what we're going to help you do with your clients, because you need to kind of be everywhere. You need to be seen everywhere. It's only a cold prospect if two people don't know each other. What becomes a warm prospect is when one party knows the other. And I've said this before, Tristan, I don't know how many years, but by the time you and I finally connected and did some cool business stuff together, I felt like I already knew you. Right.
Yeah, I know.
Because you've been in my newsfeed for years, because you understood early on the power of digital marketing and getting attention. So that is what we're trying to do with adding those things together with mailers. I just think mailing is so important.
All right. So then how do we loop in Red X into this as far as mailers or videos, retargeting? What does this look like?
Well, I was just setting up the whole thing right now. Because it's going to be more subtle than that.
I want to get to it because I'm curious now.
Well, let me answer that with answering the question, what do I send? And let me step up into some marketing principles a little bit, in that the way that you get through the noise in marketing with your postcards, with your videos, with your digital, is speaking so specifically to an audience about what they're experiencing, right? If you can speak to the emotion that somebody is currently having, they're going to pay attention. And so we want to start with a target audience of who do we want to send to. So when we say send mailers, most of those statistics are not going to be true. If you're just getting some random postcard with your face on it that says, I'm a real estate agent and I can help you, and you're sending that out to your entire market, that's a waste of money and a waste of time. What you want to do, and this is exactly the slide that you brought up, is why do people need to sell their home? and what pain might they be experiencing because of that. So expireds is such an easy one to use. I know expireds, some people just don't want to work them. They hate it. They think that they have to cold call if they want to work expireds. But expired listings is such a great prospect, because 3/4 of them are going to relist within a month of expiring, and half of those people with a new agent. So if I don't know what other list of people has that kind of conversion rate to a real estate agent. FSBOs would kind of be next, right? Because 8 out of 10 of them end up using an agent in the sale of their home. So if you look at either of those, let's use FSBOs actually as the example. NAR does this research every single year. If you Google NAR Field Guide Statistics FSBO, I bet it will pull up. And it pulls up the top 10 reasons, the top 10 struggles a homeowner has trying to sell their home on their own.
Okay, let's take a look at this. Field guide, is that what it was?
Yeah, yeah.
Statistics. Ooh, let's take a look, and I'll share it with everybody as I find
You know,
it.
there's some people on here who are like, wow, NAR does stuff. And that
I know, man. I know. NAR gets a bad rap because, you know, they deserve it, but they also do some pretty good stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. Quick real estate statistics.
Yeah, let me put those into the chat. I found those for you guys. There we go. That way you can take a look at them there.
Most difficult task for a FSBO. Preparing or fixing up the home, getting the right price, understanding or performing paperwork, selling within the planned length of time, having enough time to devote to all aspects of the sale, attracting potential buyers, and helping buyers obtain financing, right? This is what a homeowner trying to sell their home on their own is saying. This is the hardest part of all this. Well, if that's the hardest part of all that, then we can speak to those issues in our marketing. And if you speak to the pain of what people are having in their marketing, they're more likely, one, you don't have to hit them up 50 times for them to start to pay attention, because their brain is already paying attention to their pain. So they're good. They're more likely to notice it, hear it, engage with it. And so if you understand who your audience is and what problems they have, then you can have a strong call to action to overcome their pain. And that is true for your digital marketing, and it is true for your direct mail, is that you want to speak to a target audience with a specific pain or problem and a solution to that pain or problem. So how does RedX fit into that? We have been building lists of high intent sellers for 22 years, whether it's expireds or FSBOs or pre-foreclosures or vacant, a list of homeowners with vacant rentals, empty nesters, demographic information, whatever, right? You could go and look at the list that you brought up earlier in the webinar, and you could say, well, who are the people who are likely to want to move because their house was too small? Yeah, right. And it tells you the age demographic. Well, you could pull up full neighborhoods in GeoLeads on RedX, and start to look at who those people are. You could look to see what kind of the age demographic is. We even have a new feature we launched last week, Tristan, where every time you pull up a neighborhood on GeoLeads, it will tell you the turnover rate of that neighborhood.
Oh, damn. I need to take a look.
Yeah. And so you could pull up a neighborhood, and if it has 3% turnover rate, right? One, people aren't moving from that neighborhood. So maybe focus on a neighborhood with higher. You'll find something in the 10% range is double the national average of turnover. So if you find a neighborhood that's there, then you can kind of look and go, well, why are people moving from here? And just like you said, if they're older, they're probably just, maybe it's all estate sales, and all the mailer needs to be focused on who's inheriting the homes and what to do with it. If it's a younger demographic, then the pain is they're probably growing their families. They're probably changing careers, right? And they're moving from place to place to place. when you target, I always tell people it's okay to target multiple problems to the same group. And you can do it as simple as in your postcard saying whether you're, need a bigger home or you're changing jobs or these things, you know, uh, give me a call or whatever, right? But you could target multiple problems in the same postcard or letter, to say, we do that in webinars. Like, hey, this webinar is for you if you want to get more listings, if you want to figure out how to do direct mail, if you are stuck in, working with buyers and you want to switch your business to listings. Like, we're going to hit multiple problems and things that the same audience is thinking about to move them over. And so, um, you asked, how does Redx help? Well, we can help you with the lists and the data and figuring out those target audiences. And we now can help you with the mailers, because right now in beta is our new postcard integrations, where we've always helped people make lists and print labels and envelopes and things like that. But now we have the full, you can select a postcard that's specific to an audience, that already comes with a QR code that links them to a landing page that then feeds back and says, hey, Tristan, 123 Street, just scan your QR code so you can look at the engagement. You can also upload your own designs and print your own postcards for a group of people. We encourage that. Like, if you're doing an open house, send an open house to the nearest 50 people. Costs you $50 to send 50 nice postcards to something that they're interested in because they care about what's going on in their neighborhood, right? So that's in beta right now. It's not available for everybody. It's not going to be. We're going to roll that out after we get a little more tweaking done from our beta group and focus groups. But that won't even be a paid feature. Everybody will have access to that.
All right, I love it. And let's see what other question we have. All right, good. Did that. Did you list the phone numbers for follow-up? Nancy. Did you list the phone? Did you list the phone numbers for follow-up? Nancy, can you expand on that question, please, so that it's a little more clear? And while we're doing that, Curtis, what would be the website we would visit if we wanted to sign up for Redx?
Right now, well, let's put the link. There's an affiliate link for lab coats where you get some discounts, which is pretty cool.
All right.
And that would be the link. But if you want to be on our beta group or on the list to be in beta, so you could get access to the postcards before anybody else, you could just put in the chat that just put the word beta, and we'll follow up and let you get on and start sending postcards, which is kind of a big deal.
I love it. And Nancy, feel free to reach out to us individually on Instagram or Facebook, just message, and then I'll be happy to answer that question. We got Craig, who wants to be part of the beta. Craig Hartranft. So he's good. Would love to be part of it. Curtis Hurst. You've got to pick Curtis. He's got your name.
I know. Good, strong name.
That's right. That's right. You got to stick together, Curtis.
Yeah. There's not many of us.
He says exactly, LOL. Pete wants to be part of the beta. Alberto, what's up, Alberto? Also wants to be part of the beta. One more time, what does the beta include, buddy?
So the beta, the beta is just access to the full postcard system. So they're going to select the audience they want to go after. They'll select their postcard. It'll go. They're still paying for postage, right? That was cheaper than most places. So most places are going to charge you $1 for a postcard and then usually postage on that. Ours are 89 cents with postage included. So those postcards will go out. So yeah, all pretty awesome.
I like it. Let me see. We've got Craig, Curtis, Pete, Alberto. Okay. I don't know how to pronounce this amazing name. Matus. Did I get that right? Matus. That's a wonderful name. Zoli and Matus. Pretty close. Okay. Pretty close. I'll take that. I'll take that any day. Everyone, thank you for jumping in. We've got the link there as well at the top if you just want to jump into RedX. I put the LCA link there for you. And the beta thing, I'm going to send a picture to Curtis right now so he knows who you are.
There's a bunch of postcard stuff out there. Like if they have our audience, it's really easy to take the audience and put it into whatever postcard service that you have out there. So I just want people to mail. And what we specialize in is getting you down to the niche audience so that your conversion and your engagement is higher because you're targeting specific people with specific problems in your marketplace, right? And if you have the full system, you can do, right? Because you could select an area, you can use our ad builder, which allows you to target those people on social media with ads. You can send them a postcard, and then you can load them into the dialer and call them, or print the map and go door knock them, So really, it's the acquisition system that allows you to get attention in all the different mediums and channels, and then allows you to go after them to increase your listing inventory. So
I like that. And then Nancy also jumped in there. Nancy, don't worry, I got you. I took a picture. I just sent it over to Curtis as well. Curtis, thanks, buddy.